Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you've come back. If not, if it's your first time, then I really appreciate you coming. I only talk about hair. I have specialized in damaged hair for over 35 years. So I have a lot of experience in dealing with controlling damage. And let me tell you, you can control your hair damage. If you could see it, if you could understand how your hair lives, how it gets damaged, then I assure you, with that knowledge, you can get your hair back to a healthy state. A lot of times we're losing our hair, and it's due to lack of knowledge. So I'm donating my time, volunteering my time uh, to, to maybe give some information to help. Damaged hair is serious, and it's a crisis right now. So if you don't want to be damaged anymore, let's talk about how not to be damaged. That'd be the first start. And there'd be a good, a good, I think, a good subject for the channel, right? How did you get damaged hair, and how are you going to get out of it? I have heard from my previous clientele, the phenomenal hair clients, who did the work, who helped inspire me to continue to specialize in damaged hair. And I am grateful that they have contacted me. I did not notify them because I wanted my videos to get better. I wanted them to be perfect before they saw them. However, YouTube exposes everything, huh? So I want to say thank you for coming to my channel if you're part of the Phenomenal Hair Clients. And I want to say I hope that this channel helps give damaged hair a voice. That's what you wanted. When you were working with me, we wanted to give damaged hair a voice, to help people to change their course of damaged hair into controlling their damaged hair, whether it's to get through sickness or whether it's to get, well, to help you stay healthy or to stay well. How do we keep our hair well? How do we create hair wellness for our hair? The phenomenal hair clients, they did just that. We found the answers, and I would like to share them with you. So thank you, phenomenal hair clients, for coming to my channel and telling me that, hey, keep going. You like the voice that we're giving damaged hair. I want to thank you again for sending your email questions to ditahair911 at gmail.com. The big question is when two or more questions come in asking the same question. The big question for today is, I have bleached my hair at home. I colored it a turquoise. At first, the color was great. Now it is so damaged and frizzy and breaking that I can barely work with it without it tangling easy. Unfortunately, when you do bleach, you are definitely working with a chemical that is strong, and it will deplete your hair. So, of course, you're not going to be the best, and you didn't give yourself time to recuperate. It sounds like you didn't have any previous conditioning prior. So let's go back to our basics. Remember, we talked about the heat cap. We talked about bleaching and coloring and having to color with the understanding that you need conditioning before, during, and after. So doesn't sound like you used much of that method. So why don't we backtrack a little bit here and start giving ourselves once a week, every 3 days if you need it, insulated heat cap conditioning, deep heat conditioning, not a hair dryer. Remember we talked about heat capping. And, I was thinking maybe we should go back and recap the last 2 years so that we can get a better understanding of um, you know, what controlling your damaged hair looks like. Maybe I'll do that. That's a good thing to do because we've come a long way. We've learned a lot, but we still may be missing some of the things that we need to know. So getting back to you and your heat capping, I want you to heat cap every 3 days until your hair feels better, and then you're going to use your protein conditioner and your moisturizing conditioner, and you're going to go to once a week, once every 3 days is holding your hair moisture The hair is not tangling. These are the things that you look for. More manageable. It may dry out quickly though, because you've definitely have gone inside the hair shaft and you have disrupted the normal procedures or the normal process of the hair. So what you want to do is start putting some of that back. Maybe you can't control all of your breakage, but you can definitely gain control over a lot. And the hair that's closest to the scalp will definitely be stronger than the rest of the hair. So I would like you to heat cap every 3 days with your moisturizer and a protein reconstructor. If you generally have a product line that you like, then you will find that this product line can help you if you start using it properly. So we want to do mini conditioners where we rinse our hair. You know, we're not shampooing too often. And we want to condition, and then afterwards leave your heat cap in. Don't rinse it out right away until you're ready to style or go out. Applying conditioners to your dry hair will help your moisturizer during the day. If you could apply your conditioners just to the dry hair without rinsing, that helps. Another thing that helps is do not use oil. We don't want to interfere with your natural oils, which are already probably affected by the fact that you just got through bleaching. So definitely don't use oil, because we want the scalp to know to come back. Give the oil back to the scalp. So we want it to come back to the scalp naturally. And if you use oils, it will retard your natural oils. So we don't want to do that. So you want to get those natural oils back to your scalp. You also want to heat cap once a week, every 3 days. Starts getting your hair back to normal. You're not quite there yet. It's going to take time. You need to consider conditioning this way for 6 months to a year. I want to see you condition every week until it gets better. Then you can go to once a month once you have grown to once a month, once it's stabilized to once a month. You can't go to once a month if you have not done the previous conditioning. So you want to condition before, during, and after. So now that you've done it, you haven't conditioned before, so let's start conditioning now, and let's get really, really severe about it. Let's get serious about it. You still want to brush, and you'll be brushing your scalp, not so much the ends. You will be applying conditioners prior to the ends, prior to brushing on the ends. Apply conditioner. I think I said that right? So yes, this is very serious. The double coloring, you probably wasn't strong enough to take the bleach, as well as strong enough to take the color thereafter. So I realized that you might even be in a color problem. In other words, it's a different color, because you said now the color doesn't look the same. So now you might want to be tempted to color another color. And you can always go to the color wheel and try to counteract the blue with the opposite side of the wheel, the color. I think any Sally's probably could help you with that one. But most of all, you want to just start conditioning and not worry about the color so much, because at this point, you can't even take another color. So let's just build you up a little bit before you can give yourself a corrective color. Trying to do corrective work right now might cause more damage than good. So stay on top of your conditioning. Do your mini conditioners, which is the spray bottle with a little bit of conditioner in the spray bottle. Spray bottle has filtered water, and it has filtered water, and it has conditioner. And so you mist your hair during the day, or either rub your moisturizer directly into the hair without rinsing. You can wet it, or spray it and wet it and make it sink in. But you just want to start giving your hair a lot of conditioning, which it will lose during the day. So you'll have to do during the day conditioning, and then of course every 3 days until your hair starts to act proper, or should we say stop breaking and stop tangling, and then you can go to once a week. You're going to stay on once a week until the hair is holding its own, or should we say stabilized. Once it's stabilized, then you can go to every 2 weeks and every 3 weeks and every 4 weeks. Here again, the hair will tell you when to graduate to the second week or the third week. And that's because we really, really need to just take out time to condition and let the hair and scalp recuperate. So it is very important for you to understand that conditioning at this point is real serious, and you need to keep it up. You need to stay on routine, and you need an insulated heat cap. You don't want to not have the insulated heat cap because the dryer is not going to penetrate all the cuticle layers. The first email question is, I have been conditioning more ever seems, wait a minute, I read that question wrong. I have been conditioning more. However, this does not seem to be the same. Oh, so even though you're conditioning, you haven't changed much. I think that's what she's trying to say in this question. It hasn't changed her conditioning as far as her hair. It hasn't changed her hair. So I'm thinking that you're still breaking, you still have dryness, even though you're conditioning. Definitely question your product. If you're still breaking and so forth, then question your product. Maybe it's time to switch up products. I don't like to switch products too much. Maybe you need to learn more about your product. That's easy to go and Google that, and that way you can be able to know a little bit better on what you're doing wrong with the conditioning. They may instruct you to use it in a certain way, and if you don't, you're not getting the same results. Here again, you need to deep condition. And if you're doing that properly, sometimes you can get into deep conditioning and get in the insulated heat cap. And if you're not properly checking your heat cap to make sure product is still on your hair, then you're just absorbing the heat. So that way you won't get the full effect of your heat capping. If you're not staying on top of your mini conditioners, then you might not notice a change. If your product is of worth and you're doing everything properly, you should see a change. And that just means that we just need to clarify, maybe go over what you're actually doing and what's getting in the way of that. So you might want to question your product. And if you don't want to look into new ways to condition, there's always ways to have mini conditioners, and there's always leave-in conditioners. You can rinse your hair as much as you want. For instance, every 3 days, 4 days, you can rinse it and apply conditioner. You can do a short heat cap, which means that you don't have to be underneath the heat cap for long. Depending on how long your hair is, that depends on how long your deep conditioning should be. So, yeah, we need to talk a little bit more about what you're doing in order not to get the progress that you're getting. But I would at this point think that you need to give it time. A lot of times we expect something to happen fast, and it's just not real. The conditioners take time. The hair is a dead appendage, so it has to stabilize. So if you didn't say here how long you were conditioning or how long you had been conditioning, you just said that you've been conditioning and not seeing a difference. So in that sense, you might need something more. You might need to add in your rebuilder along with your moisturizer. You might need to do more moisturizing. At this point, to analyze you from here is a little harder without having all the facts. But just to rule out some of the quick fixes, increase your moisturizer conditioning, be on time with your conditioning, and as well as make sure that you're using your moisturizer a lot more than you are your rebuilder. Sometimes you can add too much protein and cause the hair to break. So moisture is usually what the problem is, even if you're living in a moisturizing climate. Second email question, brushing every day makes my scalp tender. Yes, it will. In the beginning, when you start brushing, I'm glad to hear that you're brushing. Okay, I'm just glad to hear that you're brushing. It's good to be brushing, and it's good to have a nice stimulation to the scalp. And the scalp is not used to being brushed. So it's like it is when you first start exercising. You start exercising, and the next thing you know, you're like, I'm tired of exercising. But keep up your motivation. Remember that brushing, the tenderness will go away. So don't stop brushing, just maybe not brush as hard. And then return to your harder brushing after your scalp feels not tender anymore. And that is the case. It will stop feeling so tender after you exercise. Then it'll be begging you to brush it. So right now we just have to look at it in a way of saying that, this too will pass. You can try massaging until your scalp gets better. You might have a stress scalp, and stress scalps take longer to relax. So therefore they get tender before they get relaxed. So don't stop brushing. Brush lighter, do massaging, return to the brushing. You can't get away from that one. Return to the brushing. The third question, email question, my hair is dull, so I use a styling to make it look shiny. Well, first of all, hair is supposed to have luster, not supposed to have shine. So don't look for sheen, look for luster. And when you say that, you're looking for your hair to be not greasy. You don't want to shine. You want a nice luster, meaning that the hair looks healthy. It shouldn't look like you just left an oil machine. You should look as if your hair is, and if you're moisturizing, that's what's going to give you the luster. You've got to use the moisturizer to create the luster. And sometimes we get low on our protein, and then we can no longer be as consistent with our moisturizer. So stay consistent with your moisturizer. And definitely, let me go back and look at that question. So the dullness is because lack of moisture. It wouldn't be because of anything else. So yeah, if you're not holding moisture, you might need a little protein. So I would do a protein conditioner, but I would do that once a month. And then of course, moisturizing during the week. Don't know where you live, but even in moisturizing climates, if our hair is dehydrated, it cannot accept moisture from the air. It no longer can take in moisture because it's weak. It's too dehydrated to take in moisture from the air. So you need to put moisture back in it. Remember that hair is a dead appendage, but it does have living matter. So let's go to hair facts. I love hair facts. Did you know that for every hair follicle, the hair facts is today, I guess I want to explain it this way. You look at your hair and you look at the overall picture of it. Actually, every hair strand is doing something different. So if you have hair strands that are dying and hair strands that are growing and hair strands that are living and hair strands that are in the middle of their life cycle, it gets very confusing to tell what your hair is doing unless it does it all over. And so you want to watch out for signs, red flags. Okay, if you're going to be moisture, then you will lose if you need moisture, you need your luster, you'll start seeing it look dull. You'll start seeing breakage. This is all signs of low moisture. Sometimes your hair can appear to be flat and just not as thick and full, and that's a sign of dehydration. So with your hair facts, look out for the red flags. If you start looking dull, if you start looking frizzy on the ends are a tell-all. They tell everything the hair is doing. So if your ends are dry, then most likely you have a dry problem. So here again, we've got to deep condition with our moisturizer. And with that understanding, you can build yourself back up out of moisture problems. Moisture takes time to build. So don't think you can just moisturize with one time and it's done. So remember, you might not develop that luster and get rid of that dullness until you've done 3 or 4 moisturizers. So understanding that your product is a good product, I take it. I'm not arguing about the product, but if you're not getting the results, you do need to be consistent so that you'll know that it's your product. If you're not being consistent, I don't see too many bad hair products out there, especially moisturizers. So I think our problem here is that yes, you can get a product that has very little moisture, Or you can get a product that has a different type of moisture and you need another type. So it's about you understanding if you're building your moisture, you're going to be on deep conditioning, you're going to do it in a timely manner, and then of course you're going to pay attention to the red flags, breakage, frizziness, and you're going to say, I need to do another moisturizer 2 days from now, 3 days from now, a week from now. So get an understanding or get a clear picture of what your hair is doing. And then say, okay, let me write down some of these notes. What is my hair doing altogether? And altogether, you know the ends are bad. Altogether, you don't gain length. That might be a moisture problem. So I want you to see the red flags prior to dehydration taking a toll. We live with dehydration too long, and we also put up with it for too long before we do something about it. And dehydration can be very serious and very hard to correct. So you do want to moisturize and look at the red flags. I want to thank you for staying. I hope that I've taught something today or said something today that you can relate to. Please send me your questions. They keep me focused on what you need to learn. Push the like button. I really appreciate it. It's free to subscribe as well. And of course, if you push that notification button, you will get my notifications when I post. And I try to post on Fridays. Remember that I'm on Facebook, Dita Damaged Hair. There I post answers and questions. Again, similar to what I do here, but a little different because I also give hair facts. So underneath the pictures, you'll see something telling you some information about your hair. And I hope that that can help you as well and not just have to listen to 20 minutes of the channel. It's a lot quicker to flip through Facebook. So I'm on Dita Damaged Hair Facebook. I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you for staying again. Thank you for pushing that like button. And, I try to post every answers and questions that I get. So I hope that I have answered one of your questions today. Thanks again, Phenomenal Hair Clientele. I really, like I said, hope I live up to your expectations of giving damaged hair a voice. I'm Dita. Now, go have a good hair day. Thank you.